This news story was produced by Cogeco North Bay News. To watch the full newscast, tune into channels 12 or 700 live at 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday.
A local trailblazer in the sport of curling is being fondly remembered by friends and family as Sarah Josephine Wallace passed away on Saturday at the age of 98. Clarke Heipel reports.
Sarah Josephine Wallace was well known as Jo. She is being remembered fondly by friends and family. Longtime friend Doris Toswell reflects on Wallace's impact on the sport of curling.
Mrs. Curling across Northern Ontario and actually Canada, because she was the president of Canadian Ladies, but she certainly sparked it up in Northern Ontario. She was famous for going to the Northern Ontario Ladies Curling Bonspiels. We used to rent buses and away we'd go. If we didn't get the bus, we'd take the train. We would get as far north as Kapuskasing, have wonderful 2-3 day weekends, and it was just a great time. She was always the spark of that.
And what kind of person was she?
Oh, she was very friendly and fairly opinionated, but we all loved her. She worked hard for the club. She worked hard for curling, and she was just a great person all around.
Wallace was inducted into the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame and the Canadian Curling Hall of Fame in 1986. Jack Lockhart is also a member of the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame, and he reflects on Jo's love of curling.
We often talk about Mr. Hockey and that type of thing. I think if there was a Mrs. Curling, it would be Jo Wallace. Especially the fact that she was so heavily involved right from back before the 50s, right straight through. And I know, as you mentioned, her being an accomplished person and being in the Hall of Fame, in both halls of fame, very, very important. She also was not just locally, but she was provincially, nationally, and internationally known in curling. And a key leader as well throughout the curling world with women's curling. So quite sadly missed by all of the people. A great person. Knowing her personally, she was the life of a party. She was a tremendous person. And to live to the ripe old age of 98, I'm sure Jo probably would have said, if I had known I was living to 98, I would have taken care of myself. She's that type of person, just a really great individual. The women's senior curling, basically she started that with her nifty 50 type of curling back in the 50s, and that became such an important part of the whole curling thing now that senior curling is a very, very strong aspect to the game.
Visitation will be held this Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. at Martin Funeral Home. The Celebration of Life will be held at St. John's Anglican the Divine Church on Friday at 11 a.m. Reporting for Cogeco North Bay News, I'm Clarke Heipel.
A life well lived.
If you are interested in watching Cogeco North Bay News, you can become a subscriber by calling 1-800-267-9000.